Today I'd like to tell you how I got started in collecting military surplus rifles, and the first one that I bought, but it starts way before that. So what I'd like to do is show you a couple of the firearms that I had growing up. The first one is my Westernfield 30-30 lever action that my father gave me when I was about 13 or 14 for deer hunting. So let me show you that real quick. And this is what it is right here. And we're unloaded. So this rifle, like I said, I was about 13 or 14 years old, and my father gave it to me, and I've used it quite a bit deer hunting. The scope's set at 150 yards, and I've taken quite a few deer with it. The next one I have is my father. Again, he gave me this firearm when I was about 18, 19, and this is the Smith & Wesson 357 mag, and let me unload it here. This is one of the firearms I keep around my home for self-defense, but I also carried this then after that when I was deer hunting. So these two really started my venture or interest in firearms, and I learned gun handling safety. I learned pointing and shooting and making sure what I'm shooting at, what I'm aiming at, and that is actually what I want to shoot at, making sure what is behind what I'm shooting at, just the overall firearm safety, you know, keeping your finger off the trigger when you're handling the gun. Don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Also handling and inspection and making sure the firearms are safe, even though people hand you one and say, oh, it's unloaded. You can't take their word for it. You're handling it. It's your responsibility to check. I don't care who it is, your best friend, your father, your brother. You just can't take that chance. So I learned early on how to handle the firearms and take care of them. So this is really the precursor to me getting into the military surplus area. So I'm going to show you here real quick a closer view of these two, and then I'll get out the rifle that I bought for the first time for the military surplus. So here's the closer look of my Westernfield 30-30 lever action. And then here's that Smith & Wesson 357 mag. And then I'll turn them both over to let you see the other side of them. And here's the other side of the Westernfield 30-30. And the 357 Magnum. And here's the ammo that I have in that pistol. They are the 357 mags. So now I'll talk about my very first military surplus rifle that I bought. Get these off the table, but also I do keep some loaded handguns around the house, as I said, for self-defense, and it's just my wife and myself, so I don't have to worry about children finding them and having an accident like that. So that's why I keep mine loaded. Now, as I was growing up, my father, he took American Rifleman, Outdoor Life, Guns and Ammo, American Handgunner. Gosh, there was outdoor life, field and stream. So I grew up looking at these type of magazines, and several of them, I can't remember when I was like, okay, I first started noticing it. They had ads in there for buying military surplus firearms. And the ad was for Mitchell Mausers. So that was my first rifle that I bought, because I'm thinking, hey, this would be kind of interesting. I bought the shooter grade. So this is what I bought. And it is the Yugoslav M48. And when I received it, I'm like, hey, this looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a nice stock, looks good. I know later on in my collecting, this is a starter gun. I should say that. I've read a lot about Mitchell Mausers and about them going through and cleaning them up and scrubbing them, which this one has been. So now, is it authentic? Have they done stuff to it? That's hard to say. I have shot it. So that's the start. So let me show you real quick what the rifle looks like close up. So here it is. I'm going to show you the close up of it. Again, you know, they've cleaned it up, probably did some rebluing, cleaned up the stock, possibly sanded it. It doesn't have any type of varnish on it. Go on down here real quick. And going through the bolt and the bolt assembly there, you know, cleaning that up. And let me turn it over and I'll show you the other side. So here's the other side. Got a serial number there. On up here. And as I said, you know, they've scrubbed the markings off of these. And here, you know, it has what it is, 8mm Mauser, you know, import marking. And overall, for my first experience buying a military surplus rifle at the age that I was real happy with this. So overall, at the age that I was, this was a starting point, a nice rifle. I thought it looked pretty nice, handled well, I've shot it. And so that piqued my interest in buying other military surplus rifles. And I enjoy looking for them. I enjoy disassembling them, cleaning them, finding out the history about the rifle, even the history of the country, the time frame that they were manufactured and what was going on. And so hopefully I can have out other videos besides the ones that I've already put out of other ones that I have in my collection. So I appreciate you guys watching the video and looking at the other ones that I do have. So with my military collection, I started buying different rifles that I had an interest in and some variations. Then in 2014, 15, and 16, in that time frame there, I needed to sell most of the rifles that I had. I had some bills that needed to be paid, and that was a way that I could get those paid. Then in 2019, things started to be better and an upswing, and I started reacquiring rifles that I had sold to fill back in on the collection that I had. And I've been able to buy other rifles since then and done well by being patient and looking at different websites. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you look at the other videos that I have and look forward to the videos that I do want to put out on various other rifles that I have. So thank you again.